Hey, Toots96, yes, I am a Rails developer. So, I am resuming this. I started this a couple streams ago, working on this Rails app, building this. Basically, it's like a to-do app with a bit of a different spin on it. It'll be like a date, so have a day planner element into it. So instead of like having due dates, you have, I'm calling them due days, where basically you schedule the day you want to do the to-do. So you can plan out your week and stuff like that. So all right. Let's see where we left off here. So again, I had used the new Rails 8 authentication generator to do our user authentication for us. So literally didn't have to write anything here. Even the base CSS was just generated from the generator. I'm using Tailwind in this project, and it generated the Tailwind classes for me. Didn't have to do anything. This is what it looks like out of the box once you create it. Has the forget password functionality built in. We don't have a sign up capability at this point. You're struggling to choose between Ruby on Rails or Spring Boot. Is Rails worth learning in late 2024? Honestly, like I've been programming on Rails for, I'd say maybe going on, say 5-6 years ish. Professionally, probably for, I don't know, maybe 4 years now. And I love Rails. Like, first off, like Ruby, the first language I learned was PHP, and I got into the whole WordPress website developments, and so I switched over to Ruby on Rails, started learning that, and I just enjoy building Ruby on Rails projects. The new, especially with Rails 8, some of the stuff that's coming out, it makes building stuff so fast. One of the things I was just doing in my last stream is just how easy it is to set up, like, well, I can show you in a bit here, but basically it's like you can set up using turbo frames is what it's called. So you can set up, like, let's say on our to-do page, I'll show you here, let's log in. So let's find a to-do. We have a to-do here. So this is our to-do show view. So this is our page for our to-do, and the edit functionality is so simple. It's basically what it allows me to do is it's not loading a new view at all. It's still on our to-dos page, but what's happening is that Rails is sort of like intercepting these requests, and Turbo is. And so basically what it does is, instead of loading the whole page again, what it does is it just loads the elements that have changed. So for example here, when I click on this element changes. So like, for example, here we have this, right now we're on the show view. So basically we're showing the data or what we have here. And so when I click on this, it's loading the edits, but all it is doing is just changing the content in here because I've set this up as a turbo frame. And yeah, it makes things so quick. I think there's almost going to be like a renaissance of Rails Rails is picking up momentum again, in my opinion. Yeah, that's true. I think Rails is Jason, you think Rails is awesome for indie devs. My problem is job opportunities, for example, is zero Rails jobs. Yeah, well, I think the getting into entry level Rails is I think tougher. I think it's a more difficult path. You might want to learn something else first to get your foot in the door if you're just kind of like starting from zero. That's what I personally am a self-taught dev, and that's kind of the path that I took. I got my foot in the door with PHP, WordPress, and then from there I learned Ruby on Rails because I wanted to build my own stuff. Now though, my full-time day job, I'm a Rails backend dev for a company in Seattle. So yeah, I agree with you in that sense. Getting your foot in the door for more entry level positions is tough. It's you see a lot of senior level positions, but yeah. This music's a little much right now. I'm gonna change this. I have Java Spring Boot. I honestly I'm not familiar with that at all, so I wouldn't be able to say. Yeah. It's one of those things too. It's hard to know. Like, you kind of almost gotta just jump in and start learning something. Free Code Camp was one of the things that I think when I first started, it was newer, and I used it. It kind of got my feet wet with that, and it's hard to know when you're first starting out because what do you even like? I didn't know if I liked front end, back end. I personally, I enjoy full stack, but I definitely am more inclined. I like back end development. Is Rails really leading the speed of development compared to other frameworks? Personally, I just from observation, because I haven't. Okay, well, I worked for a company before when I was just trying to transition into development work. I was working in actually customer success back then, and it was a startup locally here that I was working for, and their stack was Node. I want to say they had React. I can't really remember on the front end, but when I just see the ease of use of some of these frameworks, especially as smaller teams, I think it's hard to compare. It's hard to beat Rails. One other framework I may be interested in myself, but if I wasn't in Rails, I'd probably look at Laravel. It seems like they're doing some pretty cool things there. But yeah, I need to get a little bit more familiar with React. It's one of the things too is actually a lot of these Rails jobs out there. They're always looking for the full stack ones. They always want Rails and React. But yeah, as a solo dev or as a small team, I don't think you can beat Rails or Laravel. So, all right. So this app here, we have the to-do. So I left off creating this to-dos view. Let's just add some more fields here. The next thing I was going to add was a description field. So basically, I want to be able to add a description to this to-do. So instead of, yeah, for sure. No problem at all. So in this, yeah, basically I want to add a description. But instead of adding a column here, so Rails has the action text that I'm going to use, which allows me just to easily use add rich text fields to a record. So let's do that. So yeah, I'll just show my schema here for a second so we can just take a look at what the database looks like. This table for to-dos. So the to-dos table, we have a title, we have a created by ID, a due date, a status. Okay, so I need to add a status field here in this page, and I won't bother adding a created by ID yet. Once it build in this Teams aspect of the app, we'll do that. But let's just get started with this. And so we're going to add in description and status right now. So for this description, I'm going to go, you know what, we have to install action text first. So let's go Rails action text. All right, so installation, Rails action text install. All right. Well, what do they say there? Elemental magic card game. Tell us. Nothing, right? Doing good. How are you doing? Okay, so here's our model. We're gonna go back and then install action text, some Haskell. What is Haskell? Okay. Cool. What kind of stuff do you do with it? What are you building? Game dev. That's one thing I'd really like to find some time to try out. Really high skill caps, so I've been working on improving with it. Pretty cool. Yeah, I'd never heard of it before. All right, so action text. So we installed it. Let's now run the migration. All right, well, let's just take a look at the migration. Might as well. So what this is doing for us is that installer created 2 migrations. What do you think of dynamic versus static typing? No, not at all. I've never felt lack of using Rails. Maybe. I don't know. I've never actually worked with static types. So the installer creates these for us, this for us here. Just some new tables. And basically what it's going to allow us to do is some Rails magic. Where we go back to our to-dos. Did I run that migrator? Oh, I did. Okay. Let's run the migration. And we're going to go has rich text. And I can just name this whatever I want. Literally anything. So this could be anything. But we're going to call it description. Now, we can go back to our show view and set up these fields. Very, very hard to refactor anything of size without a lot of type annotations, and types are also fairly ideal for documentation. Yeah, I mean, I don't disagree with that. So skipping types is just crazy. Maybe. I think there's a lot of complexity in programming that isn't always necessary. I do understand the need or, you know, the benefits of it. Okay, so description. And this will just stay the same. So again, this is another a turbo frame here. Basically what it's going to do is this is going to generate the turbo frame element. It's going to have the ID set with the description, and basically how it works is any link in here is going to look to load just this frame if it can find it in the destination. So when I click on here, so you can see here, here's our turbo frame ID, description, make that bigger. Description to do one. And when I click on this, it's going to look for the edit turbo frame. So we don't have that set up yet. That's why it's missing. Why did I leave this blank here? Was I going to do something here? Strange. we'll add a. This is gonna be no. That's not. It needs to be rich text. Rich text. I think it's rich text field. We'll call it description. So it matches. And let's see. Did I need to run bundle? I don't think so. I think we're fine. I think this should have also installed the editor, the tricks editor, which isn't my favorite in the world, but it kind of just does what you need it to do. So for most use cases, it does the job. All right, so let's see. This has been rich text. What is it? What is the has rich text, and it should just be rich text area. Okay. Rich text area. There we go. And this looks terrible right now. We can fix that. Okay, so let's fix this. Let's just go like this. Okay. Yeah. Good enough for now. We'll make it work first. And now I should be able to go, hello. Oh, you know what? I need to add this to our controller. So to do controller, permit description. Save. Try this again. Hello there. Cool. So obviously we don't want it to look like this, but this is our page now. So when we are on our show view, click edit, edit this, something else, and save it. I think we'll have to add some additional styling in order to get bullet points and stuff like that. Yeah, so that's not doing much of anything, nor are our ordered lists. That's not doing anything either. Bold will. Oh, you know what? It actually did do it. It's just not doing it inside the editor. So this did change the size, but not in the editor yet. Let's try to do his work. Oh no. Did my OBS freeze? Is the stream even going anymore? Stream's still going, but OBS is frozen. Rainbow wheel. And oh, we're back. We're back. We unfroze. Cool. That's good. Oh, the stream kept going. How's our YouTube going? Is it still live? Yep. All right. Let's add our status. No, status. Okay, so status should just be like a check option here. So we're gonna go from status of to do to complete, and we'll just want that to be like a checkbox. of sorts anyway. So go back to our view. I'm gonna make a separate box for this, I think. And we'll say if to do status, or let's go like this. So if to do is complete, else, and all right. Class flex gap on, and we'll go grab an icon. Awesome. Let's go. Circle check. No. Let's go text teal 500. And class font bold. And you know what? If this is complete, I think I want to add a border as well. If to do complete, let's go border make a border here first. We'll border white so you can't see it, and then change it to border teal 500 when it is complete. What did I miss here? Missed that. Okay. Copy that, paste it here. Let's change this just to a circle. We'll just say the status is to do. And don't want this color here. See what it looks like here. No, I want this should be a circle, not that kind of circle. Empty circle. Checklist circle. FA regular. Okay. Then let's go. No, we don't need to have that outside it. Let's put this here. Get rid of this. Get rid of this. Put this here. So 10 J. No, that indenting wasn't what I wanted. Get rid of that. There we go. 9. Oh. Okay. Think that's what I'm going for. No, I want the, yeah, I forgot to put item center. There we go. So a little bit more gap. Okay. Now I can make that clickable. All right, so we'll just go. Button 2, and this will be to our to do method patch do yeah, rows 5, so you just pass in the params. Okay. So we'll go params to do, and we're updating the status to, so if it's complete and you want to change it back, you want to change it to do. If it is complete, nope. If it's not complete, then we want to change it to complete. So this should hit our, so it's a patch. Yeah, okay, so method is patch. Go into our to do path. It should then perform an update, and we already have an update action here. It should just render the show view, which we're currently on. Did I set up a turbo frame? If I did not, I need to do that. I don't think I did. I did not. Let's go. Turbo frame tag to do, and updating status. Okay. So let's see what happens here. Click it, complete. Right on. I just want to make sure it's actually saving. So I click it, refresh, and it's still complete. So it's actually saving it. I'm not seeing the green I wanted to see though. Why aren't I seeing the green? The teal. Border teal 500. It's outside of the frame. That's why. Not sure I love it. Not sure I hate it. If it is complete, I kind of wanted it all to be green, so let's go class text teal 500. Yeah, that's right. Okay. Add it for 40 minutes. Okay, so what next? Let's commit some changes here.
If you were in my place where there are 0 jobs, would you invest in Ruby on Rails? Well, really depends on what you want to do. Like, are you so you're looking to get a job, not necessarily go and build your own stuff at this point, right? See, part of it too is, like, where there are a lot of jobs, it seems like there's also a lot of competition in these other areas. Have you ever looked at remote jobs? I guess it depends on where you live and where because I'm in Canada, and I mean, there's usually a fair amount of opportunity for remote Rails work. And I work remote. I'm in Canada, but I work for a company in Seattle. I really do think more businesses will be jumping on Rails, especially newer startups. Didn't start learning, so didn't check remote, but I know that remote Rails jobs are very hard for. Yeah. I've only ever done remote, never worked in office as a dev. There's pros, there's cons. I think there's definitely a bit of a easier learning curve if you have people you're sitting beside as a junior.
But I would even say, I mean, don't even look for a junior job. Get your skills to a point where you don't have to have that junior title. Bypass that. I personally was never a junior dev. Technically, right? I was junior in the sense I was new, but I was technically never a junior as in a position title. What do you think of performance of Rails, by the way? I mean, some big companies use it. The company I work for, we do real estate software and huge amounts of data. Huge amounts of data. Shopify is massive. Do I see companies starting new projects with Rails? Don't like this music. Do I see new companies? I don't know. It's hard to say because like I don't know if you know these companies. I think there's definitely new companies being started. I think so like with some of the changes that are coming out in Rails 8. So Rails 8, I believe, is supposed to be scheduled for release in October, right around Rails World. Oh man. Why did my browser jump over here? Okay. So Rails World 2024. So September 26th, and I believe Rails 8 is supposed to be ready for that event. And like some of the things that are coming in Rails 8 are going to lead to it's going to be. I could see more and more startups or just bootstrapped companies wanting to start with Rails because I mean we're finally having a authentication generator. So like literally with the command Rails generate authentication, it sets you up with the authentication that we have here. That's a big head start. And then one of the things with Rails 8 is progressive web apps, which I am very happy to see. Rails PWA, Rails 8 PWA. Do you see companies starting with how was your switch from PHP to Rails? Was it an opportunity or you made the jump by learning Rails yourself? Yeah, I just made the jump. I guess the reason was because I was doing like this web devs, WordPress stuff, building like plugins and things like that. And I don't know why I got into Rails. I think I was just researching for platforms that allow you to build your own applications as a solo dev or small team easily. And I think that's why. I can't even really remember. I just remember I was taking a course through Team Treehouse, which was a site. I think it's still around. Team Treehouse. Yeah. I used these guys to start. And I remember like the first time I saw their module, I had no idea what even Ruby on Rails was. I was like, so that's a weird name for a language or whatever. Yeah, Devise. I have Devise in a number of projects. It's just like it feels heavy to me, right? And there's a lot of to customize it. I find it a bit of a pain. I just have never loved it, even though I've used it. Did you make like your own indie SaaS app? Yeah. So, I've done small little like dinky projects. Like this is one called Kippos. Oh, let's go to the website. The landing page is so bad. I've just never really put time into it. It's just like a budgeting planner app. I honestly use it all the time. Me and my wife use it for our finances. It's worked great for us. What else have I built? So the main product that I have is called Engage Spot for Church. So it's for churches. I built it primarily for my church because we basically were using text messaging to connect with people and communicate and stuff like that. But the tools we were using just weren't doing kind of what we needed to do. So this does a lot more than some of the other stuff was doing. So you can send text messages, emails. You have an event page where people can sign up for stuff, all that kind of jazz. So yeah. But yeah, so Team Treehouse, that's where I first learned about Ruby on Rails. And I just remember I was like, it's a weird name for a language. And then somehow I got into it and I started taking the modules through here. And yeah. Like from an idea to prototype, it take you how long with Rails? Well, I think this project I'm working on right now is going to be like a good example of a pretty it's not going to be a huge project. It's not the most difficult thing in the world to build. Yeah, Go Rails is awesome. Go Rails, I use Go Rails a ton. So this project, I don't know. If I was just kind of in build mode just on myself, not doing this on a stream, I could get this project done easy in probably a couple weeks. If I'm going evenings after the kids go to bed and stuff like that. But this Engage here that I built, that I started building it in January, and I believe I launched it for my church it was July. It was usable for our church, but it really wasn't ready for onboarding any other customers or anything. So it was around, I think, November when it was you have your Stripe integration, so you can actually bring on a new customer and have them sign up. All that stuff that the stuff at the end is a real pain in the butt, because it's not the stuff that you really want to be building. It's not the features that you kind of want to build. It's just the stuff that you have to build in order to be able to enable. So it's just that kind of stuff's a bit of a drag. And I find that I put it off to the end. I'll probably do the same thing for this project, because I think I'm going to launch this that people can subscribe to. And I'll just add in Stripe integration at the end. And I always find that I just push it off to the end. But so yeah, this, I don't see why this would take more than a couple, 2 to 3 weeks to have a good base for something like this. The features that came out in Rails 7 made a huge difference for development time too, with Hotwire, Turbo, Stimulus. Yeah, makes front end stuff just so much quicker. Just even here, with this, literally, the amount of code that you have to write is just majorly reduced from what it used to be. Yeah, don't stop overthinking it. Just start building. And you can always change, right? And the thing is, they could say, "Well, my PHP experience is useless," but it's not. It's useless at this point, because it set the I guess kind of the foundation. There's a lot of concepts that will transfer. There's going to be syntax that's different, but once you understand kind of the concepts, and the thing about Rails is a lot of these concepts will transfer. Get familiar with Ruby as a language. Do some of the what is that one site called? Ruby. Shoot. The Odin project, that's it. This is a good tutorial too. I did this. Really just walk through all the basics. It's a good place to start here. I don't know. It's I don't know your. So you say, is it worth taking the risk for? Is it a risk? I don't know. See, the thing is, when you're beginning, you don't know. You just gotta start. You just gotta move, because it's one of those things where like the picture forms as you're moving. It's like most things. Like for me with my SaaS products here, like I don't know how to do marketing, and I'm trying to learn that stuff, and I just have to move and just do the stuff I don't want to do all that stuff, and just start. You're figuring out what doesn't work most of the time, and then you try something else and all that. How long? Can't remember. I cannot remember. I want to say maybe it was like a year before I transitioned into a Ruby job. Maybe it was 2 years. I can't remember though. I think it was closer to 2 years. But build stuff, whatever it is you're learning, build stuff. Create projects. Like no one else may sign up for them. It's like my budgeting app here. I don't have any paying customers for it right now, but I use it. I use it all the time. It's super useful for me and my wife. No, I didn't study full time. I was working my other job. I was doing a PHP development. So it was just one of those things where it was like, I'm building stuff on the side. Because if I remember correctly, I had gotten a job at this one place locally where I was contracting for them for PHP development, and I was with them for 2 years. And I think I had started learning Ruby, maybe around the time I started working for them. Maybe not. I don't know. It's hard to remember though. Yeah, I mean, go hard in it and start pumping out stuff. Build stuff. Throw it on a portfolio page. For me, it's like I can tell if someone's going to make it, if they'll make it, if they build and build. Because if you like to build, I think you'll make it. If you don't like to build, and it's a pain in the butt to build, it's hard to see. Freelance jobs. I've always wanted to dip into that. I hear people doing it. I've never gone into it. So that's what I was doing to start for me, with freelance PHP WordPress development. All right, what next here? So we set up our to-do page. let's add the ability to actually create a to-do. So we need, you know what? Let's add some buttons at the top here so I can actually get around this thing. No, I'm just so this is just like a to-do task name, so I'm gonna just like mow the lawn. So not a Twitch clone, it's a to-do day planner. Concept is so on when you log in, oh, got an error here, like that. Let's comment that out for a sec here. Let's just go to that. So the concept will be, yeah, you're in your home page where you have your today, and today will just show you the to-dos you've scheduled for your current day. Go back and forth to other days, and yeah. Is there another? There's another YouTuber that did a Twitch clone, really good Rails dev. Don't know if you know him. No, I haven't heard of him. Indigo Tech Tutorial. I'll check him out though. Let's check him out right now. Indigo Tech Tutorials. Oh, YouTuber. Okay. One guy I like is this guy right here, Typecraft. He does these NeoVim and different videos. He's a Rails dev. I think he's been at it for a long time. Longer than I have. That's cool. Building Spotify. Yeah, those are some cool projects. Let's throw them a subscribe. Okay, so I need to create the ability to create a to-do. So let's just add a plus button here. Font awesome. Plus. I want a circle plus. Circle plus. Twitch clone with streaming functionality. That's pretty sweet. Okay, so I want to change how this works here first. I don't like that. I don't want these so far apart. Let's go grab this. Go like this. Flex, justify between. And let's throw those in here. Let's see. Yeah, that's what I want. Okay. Let's go get rid of this. Go a gap of 2. Better. Make these bigger. Too big. That's good. And then let's also add that plus button in here. Go item center. Yeah, sorry. So he made a Twitch clone and Typecraft is awesome. Yeah, talking about tools. Yeah, he doesn't. I don't think I've seen him build too much. Any apps. He just did a live stream series, on building his NeoVim setup for Rails, which I really need to redo my. Yeah, I'm using NeoVim. I really need to redo my config because it's a mess. Heard Camel 2 will be released soon. I think it's great to have such a thing to deploy Rails. Yeah, I haven't made use of it yet. I'd like to try it out for one of these apps. Something like that. Yeah, I didn't love VS Code. I did use it for a while. It's been a while. I haven't used VS Code in probably almost over 2 years. I was using RubyMine for a while. I liked RubyMine, and I used that for probably a couple of years. And then I just recently switched to NeoVim. I think it was in just December, last December. you have to work on Rails app performance. I mean, you have to watch for your bad queries, your n+1s, and all that. But no, I know like there's talk about how Rails whatever performance. I don't know where this idea. I think maybe it was because back in the day Twitter moved away from Rails. And I think there was a particular issue that they were having that was issue. Let's look it up. I don't know. Let's go. What were Twitter's performance issues with Ruby? I'm too lazy to look through Google. Let's ask ChatGPT. Or should I ask Claude? I don't like ChatGPT anymore. I use Claude pretty much exclusively, but okay, let's just go chat settings. For this one, let's use GPT. Okay, so let's go chat settings. What were the performance issues that led Twitter to moving away from Ruby on Rails? Ruby on Rails. Yeah, okay, so concurrency, I think that was the issue. I mean, this is part of the problem though is the way everyone wants to build microservices, and yeah, like Shopify is a monolith. Okay, so concurrency. Ruby, particularly the MRI Matt's Ruby interpreter, has limitations with concurrency due to its global interpreter lock GIL. This makes it difficult to perform multiple tasks simultaneously, which is crucial for high traffic platforms. I think though that those issues were addressed in later Ruby releases. Was the concurrency issue ever addressed in Ruby versions after that? Yeah, Shopify is massive and literally just a monolith. Yeah, so here we go. It said, yes, the concurrency issue in Ruby has been addressed to some extent in later versions, though the global interpreter lock still exists in MRI. Here are some of the improvements and alternatives have been developed. So Ruby 1.9 introduced native threads. JRuby's implementation of Ruby on the Java virtual machine and does not have a GIL. This allows for true parallel execution of threads. Yeah. No, I think the whole performance thing with Ruby on Rails is overblown. I mean, and Twitter. Okay, so how many companies are actually going to get to the size of Twitter anyway? So, I mean, if we're being realistic here. Okay, yeah, I did. So they have a new interpreter. Major performance improvements over 3.2. Support for splat and rest arguments has been improved. Significantly improved memory usage. Yeah, I should watch more of these Rails conferences. The lineup for this year's was pretty good. Yeah, I think Typecraft says he's doing a NeoVim config for his talk. I will most likely be implementing that because, I mean, mine works. It's working. I'm really not happy with my LSP stuff. Yeah, I think it's in Toronto. All right, I'm gonna make this button clickable. Do I find some of there's a lot of magic in Rails and don't know how it is implemented? Definitely, yes. Especially as you're first getting used to it or learning it, definitely. Yeah. Even still, there's things I don't know. I mean, I can look into it. I could dig into it and see what's actually happening here. I understand the concepts of what's happening. I just haven't actually like looked into the code itself in a lot of cases. Sorbet, no. That's not what I'm looking for. Okay, so it's developed by Stripe, eh? Sorbet is fast, powerful type checker designed for Ruby. Try it online. Does it bother you, the magic? No, not in the slightest bit. I enjoy it. Like, what are some examples? I mean, there's a lot of examples probably. Like for example. Okay, let's go look at our. Let's go back to do one. This little completion. Oh, what did I do? Let's do show. Okay. Like our method here, complete, where it checks the status. Because generally speaking, okay, so like if we open the console here, and I actually pull up this to do, so this is to do the first one. There's no attribute called complete. It's called status, and what Rails allows you to do is for the model. I don't know, maybe you're familiar with this. When you set an enum, set the status, it just automatically creates these kind of magic methods for you. And so like once you use the magic, you get familiar with what it's doing. You kind of understand. Okay, so like basically all it's doing is just creating a method based on the possible statuses that you provided. That would be like this. It's gonna go status equals complete. You know, if it's true, then this will return true. So like there's a lot of magic, but like, you know, you can kind of figure out what it's doing. Yeah, thanks for chatting. Have a good night. Okay, so setting up this new to-do page. So you got a title, you got a description, want a due day field, not a due date, a due day, a day that you'll do it. Because I hate due dates. That's why I'm making this. I want to know when I'll do it. I want to plan when I'll do it, not always have like a lingering due date. So I never end up. I start using a new to-do app, and I never continue using it. Because once the due dates come and pass, then it's just annoying. It's like nagging. Hence the due day. D-O. Due day. It's going to be a date field. Chrome. Brave in this situation, but Chromium gives us the nice date picker. Okay, what else do we need? Don't need a status because a new to do would always should not be completed. We need a submit button. I think I'm like cranking my neck as I'm looking at my monitor because my neck is really hurting. Oh, posture. See, if I actually sit up straight, I'm outside my camera now. Form.submit. Let's say create to do class BG teal 500. Font bold, text white, padding. Let's go 2, and then 8, and then rounded full. I want to make that bigger actually. I want that font to be bigger. Let's go text XL. Do I want that to be bold? Because when you look at the to-do, it's going to be bold when you look at it. Yeah, let's do it bold. Okay, so set up our controller action for create to do controller. Have an update. Let's go set up a create. It's probably time to start actually verifying whether a user should have access to to-dos. So that's not in place yet, because right now, if you stick in an ID, you could basically look at anyone else's to do. Don't want that. You could even edit someone else's to do. So that's not good. So let's go to do. We'll go to do dot to do dot new dot to do params, and then go. So we need to add a couple extra. Okay, so we need to add to do dot created by ID, which would be current dot user dot ID, and it should be assigned to the current user by default. So let's just go to do dot save if to do. Yeah, I need to really fix my indenting auto completion here. It's really annoying. To do users, I want to just go current user. I believe that will give us, if I remember correctly, we have has many users through assignments, so that will create that assignments association. Oh shoot, what did I do here? So our to-do created, we didn't get the page load days today. Okay. I set it for tomorrow, so created on the right day. Set the description though into the title. So change this description, not title. Did it set the right date? Yes, it did. Okay, so let's try this again. Test to description. Set it for today. Great. Back. Let's go to today. There it is. Due day, description, title. Okay. So we started to edit. So run to the new page. So we'll go to controller. Instead of render, we'll go redirect. Redirect to do. Test 3. There we go. I want the cursor to be a pointer here. Cursor pointer. Yeah. All right. So this to do this new description today. There we go. Okay. Now I want to, before I wrap up, I want to set up a nav bar here so I can get around this thing easier. So we'll go application, render. I'm trying to remember what to do here for rendering. Okay, so I have the partial, but it's in the layouts, and I think that's a problem right now. Layout, so the nav bar. Render nav bar. Did I name it the same thing? Nav bar. So missing partial to-dos. Yeah, so it's looking, why is it looking under? Oh, it's looking under because that's the page we're on. So how do I render a layout partial? Rails render layout partial. So is there a, do they even let you do that using partials? To render partial as a part of a view, use the render method within the view. So render file, blah, 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 blah. So it's true when you're pulling in a partial from another folder. Since view partials rely on the same. Okay, so I just have to pass in. I see. So that basically there's just setting a new partial call or a new directory called application. That seems like a good way to do it rather than putting it under layouts, because it's not really a layout. Oh, well, partial can use its own layout file. Yeah, so I guess they're specifying the layout for the partial. Okay, so I think I like the application directory. So let's go application, back to layouts, just move this application, that's not what I wanted. Nav bar. Okay. There it is. It's not where I want it. So open it up. Some default flex happening there. I don't think I want that at all. I don't want this here at all either. I don't even know if I want a container because I think container sets a width. So let's just get rid of this. Unless, you know what, I might just want it outside. Yeah, let's do that. So let's go with this, and let's go nav bar outside of the main element. There. So we'll go close this out. Go nav. Whoops, that was muscle memory. Go class flex gap to, whoops, gap to probably justify between. See how that works. And then let's just throw in a bit of a logo kind of thing here. Let's call it modifier to-dos. Give it a better name at some point. We'll throw in a check mark. Let's go for a square check mark. Square check. Do they have that? They do. Let's get rid of the quantifier. Well, let's just try it. Bold it first class, font, bold. Too much space in between. Change that to 1. Let's go padding px4, px8. Wide, too much. R4. Let's go. That probably want 6. No, 4 is good. Okay. And then just make it a bit bigger, I think. Text LG. Text XL. Share. And let's go with some buttons in the middle here. Just gonna like stub out settings button or link. We'll put like a deer or something else here, but for now let's just throw this here. And then I want to class flex gap probably like 8. And we're gonna do some links. So let's go. Why did that indent so much? Okay, linked. No. Linked to, we'll call this one today. And we'll just go root path class. Well, let's just go up here. Text teal 500. Okay, and go. It's not a whole lot else to link to right now. It's going to be box. It's going to be that's it probably for now. It's not the most ideal placement, but let's just get around for now. Okay. I don't like the resizing that's happening, so I'll have to address that. But at least we can jump around this thing now. So we'll say nav bar. And yeah. Well, I think that's it for tonight. So where I want to pick up next time, I think I want to clean up some of this stuff. That is fine for now. I need to be able to delete the to-do. So there should be a delete button around here. I'll probably set up the box concept next, which is basically box will hold to-do. So separate your to-dos. So let's say you have one for like around the house, or one for yard care, or another one for work, whatever, right? All right, I'm out of here.